Rational numbers. So our first thing is a set, which is a group of common attributes. So for example, we can have a set of food. So with our set, we have subsets. It is a set that is composed entirely of members of some other set. So for example, the subset of food, you can have healthy or unhealthy. Okay, or you can have chicken or beef as a subset of food. You can have chips or, I don't know, snacks. Okay, each of these can be a subset of food. Okay, next we have real numbers. Okay, again, all numbers are real numbers. This one you won't have to know for 7th grade. This is more 8th grade. Okay, so all numbers are real numbers. Next is your irrational numbers. Irrational numbers go on forever. They don't repeat. Most of the time you'll see for irrationals are the square roots or imperfect squares. Okay, meaning you can't multiply two numbers of the same to get the square root or to get 15. Okay, again, irrational numbers you won't have to know for 7th grade. This is the 8th grade part. Okay, next we have rational numbers. This here begins the 7th grade. Rational numbers can be written as a ratio. So, for example, you can have 1/4. You could also write 1/4 as 0.25, or you can write it as 25%. Okay, rational numbers can be written multiple ways. With decimals, they end, they terminate, and they also make a pattern. They repeat. Okay. Next, we have, it is not cooperating, integers. It is positive and negative whole numbers. Okay. One thing I tell you guys for integers, remember it is on the number line. So you can have your positive and negative whole numbers. So you can go from -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, -2, -3, and so on. Okay, think of the number line. Next is whole numbers are all natural numbers including 0. Okay, so make sure you include 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay. They are not negative numbers, so they're positive. They're always positive, and you start with 0. Next, we have natural numbers. Okay, natural numbers are your counting numbers. So if you were to count your fingers, okay, you don't just say you start off at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 fingers. You start off at counting with 1. So natural numbers start off at 1. Remember, it does not include 0, and it is always positive. Okay, lastly, we have the real number system. Okay, for you guys for 7th grade, you do not need to know irrational numbers. Okay, you'll get more into that also in 8th grade or in algebra. The main thing is for you to remember the order. Remember, rational comes first. Okay, a subset of rational is an integer. A subset of integers, the whole number, and then you have your natural number. If you remember this order, you're golden. Okay, how they do this? Say I have the number 0. Okay, 0 goes into rational. So then it gets to go to the next level, which is integer. 0 is also an integer. Okay, which means it can move on again to the next level. 0 is also a whole number. Okay, but 0 is not a natural number. So how we write this is we'll leave 0 at the end. Okay, so another example, we can have -1. Okay, all numbers are rational for now until you get to 8th grade. So -1 can also be an integer. Okay, but it can't be a whole number because whole numbers have to be positive. So you always write it to the last place it belongs. Okay, I can have 1,000. 1,000 is rational. It is also an integer. It could be on the number line. It's also a whole number. And it's also a natural number. We can count to 1,000. Okay, so it stops at 1,000. So that is where the last place that you would write it. So it's in all of those categories. So you think of it as passing another level. You have to go through rational first. If you pass that level, then you can go to integer, then whole, and then natural.